Okay, just to talk about, to the pad holder, the coach, the parent. When you're doing this, okay, there's some important little tricks that you need to know that are kind of unspoken in when you're holding pads, okay? First, when you make sure you put your hands in here, you want to make sure you're always curling your wrist forward. Because what happens is when you start taking impact, your wrist is going to buckle back, and we don't want that, because that really hurts. So if you notice this little hook right there, I'm always keeping my fingertips pushing forward. Okay. 2, also when I have these going here and I'm meeting the punches, all right, it's also important that whatever stance the fighter is in, if they're in an action stance number 1 like this, so they would look like this, I need to be the exact same stance across from them. Okay. So if they have their left leg in front and their right leg back, I need to be in the same stance. Because essentially a 1 is a 1, or a 2 is a 2. So however they're punching, I'm meeting that. And I got to make sure I'm keeping everything tight. I'm pushing forward, and I'm not keeping the mitt out here. I don't want them to punch across their body and come to here. I want to meet the mitt to the center of my face. Just like this. Okay? Another important attribute to train, your child, or even if I was coaching a fighter, is anytime I'm holding pads for someone, if they just do a basic 1-2, I'm always moving back. Because I want to teach them to always move forward. Can't win fights moving backwards. So we always want to teach them to not always just be aggressive, but to always be moving forward in their techniques. Okay? It's another basic thing. One more basic attribute to really focus on with your child, and you need to do it as well as the mitt holder, is every time they throw a technique, they're always breathing. Okay? Anytime I'm holding the pads, because sometimes they slip, they're going to hit you right in the nose. Might hit you right in the belly. And what we want to do is be protected as well. So if we get hit, we're exhaling and it's not going to knock the wind out of us. So those are just some basic things. Making sure you're keeping your wrist forward. You're meeting the pit. You're meeting the mitts like patty cake. You're breathing. Stance is always good. And make sure when you're moving the fighter forward. Okay? So some good tips.